Hey, what up? Come to Pitchfest agency. I've got Mark Godaire here, who's also going to be at this awesome event. Mark, we're talking about 3 things to not miss in every roofing sales presentation process. And I'm curious, what is absolutely crucial to not miss in your business, and how could that help some other businesses here?
Yeah, I love it. What's going on, Tim? Hope everything's well, man. I appreciate you again having me on for this live. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man, I'm a big process guy. Sales process is like literally what I live and breathe. And Robbie here, actually, I'm training a Monarch guy, and he'll tell you that we're a so process-driven company. So 3 things. First off and foremost, I like to build trust and rapport. I'm going to talk a little bit, obviously, at Pitchfest, a little bit about it more in depth with the inside sales and outside sales, but building it organically, right? Trust and rapport is thrown around nonstop, but I'm not sure many people understand, like, you can't just tell people, like, hey, trust me, right? We never, you always hear that term, right? Hey, Tim,
Yeah,
just trust me on this one, right? Do you ever
yeah,
trust? No, talk is cheap, right? So in our
yeah.
sales process, what we try to do is we try to design and we try to implement as many things as possible that we're going to do that, and then we do it way before the end of the sales presentation, way before the signing. Like, how many things can we tell a homeowner that we're going to do, what we're going to do, and can we do it before any numbers are thrown around or anything on roof replacement is even talked about? So one
Mm.
big thing is, if anytime you have an appointment, or even if you're door knocking, I'm a huge fan of door knocking and getting an appointment and maybe setting it for like the next day, like maybe not pushing that urgency. Hey, I'm available today. Well, why not say, hey, I'm pretty booked in your neighborhood today, but tomorrow I have an opening. I'd love to get you in. So it shows that, you're not just willing and open free and nobody's using your service. So I like
Mhm.
to set up an appointment farther down. Now with Monarch and this guy here, he's got a silver spoon seal. He's a lead baby. You remember those lead baby gummies that you used to give me, that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sent
yeah.
me? This is
Hey,
one of this guy right here.
we love making lead babies. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I say it jokingly, but I like to make lead
And thanks
babies.
to you, brother. Thanks to you, this guy here, he's been with us about 6 months, so he graduated into sales now, and he's a lead baby, so he's going to get 2 to 5 leads a day, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, what can we do on these appointments that make trust and rapport so much easier? And we incorporate the inside sales, and I can't wait to talk about that in Minnesota. I think that's going to be the biggest value that I'm going to be able to provide, is how we can bring that inside sales position. But on the way to an appointment or anything that you set up, a courtesy call. Now everyone's like, yeah, of course, you call a homeowner when you're on your way. Well, there's a few things that you could do that makes it a little bit more wow effect. We like pattern interrupts, right? Chuck Thokey talks a lot about pattern interrupts. So what we like
Mhm.
to do is, when we call, we have a script for that, like a courtesy call script, we call it. And Robbie uses it every single day now, obviously. And what we do is we say, hey, Mrs. Smith. You say, yeah, hey, Mrs. Smith, this is Mark Godaire with Monarch Roofing, just giving you a courtesy call, right? I say that word, courtesy
Mhm.
call, letting you know I'm 17 minutes away. Now I give an exact time, right? And that's a pattern interrupt. Like, they may not say like, oh, 17 minutes, geez, you're really exact. But in the back of their mind, they're thinking, wow, this guy's really on the ball. He's telling me I'm 17 minutes away, right? Because
Mhm.
all of us have had that contractor, or have had that, ADT say, hey, we'll be there between 1 and 5. What are you doing? You're sitting there for hours, right? You're building that cortisol hormone. Well, it happens with
Oh yeah.
contractors too. Hey, I'll be there in 15 to 20 minutes. Well, are you going to be there in 15 minutes, or are you going to be there in 20 minutes? I know you have a newborn baby, right, Tim? Well, that
Yep.
newborn baby naps, eats, right? 5 minutes could alter your day a pretty good bit. Right? So, man,
Yep.
5 minutes is a pretty long time. So you got Mrs. Smith looking out the window when you say you're there 15, 20 minutes, and say you're there in 22. Well, there's 7 minutes there that she's like wondering where you are, if she's thinking that you're at the 15
Mhm.
mark. I don't like that cortisol hormone. I like to eliminate that in employees and also homeowners. So that courtesy call, letting them know, hey, I'm 17 minutes away. I got GPS, right? It's 2023, Tim. How are we not telling homeowners exact time we're going to be there at any point of the process? Adjuster
Yeah.
meetings, final presentations, any appointment that you set up, tell them. So they say, oh, awesome, Mark, thank you, I appreciate it. Then I ask one more question after that. And the reason why I ask one more question is, I don't want it to be a quick phone call. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to gather as much information on this appointment as much as possible, right? So I always ask a question. My favorite question is, is there any particular area you'd like me to park? Because that usually gets them talking. And they say, oh, no, Marcus, no problem. You can park anywhere. And sometimes I'll say, hey, Mrs. Smith, is there any particular area you'd like me to park? I know in your neighborhood, HOAs are pretty particular about, uh, cars in the roadway, right? And down here in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, it's a big problem. So I'm showing that I care, right? I'm showing that I'm caring, and that's building trust and rapport organically, and by not just saying something, but I'm actually digging a little bit deeper. And you'd be shocked on how much information you get off that question. You get people that say, well, you know what, Mark? Yeah, actually, if you can go ahead and back up in the left side of the driveway, my wife's leaving out on the right. Well, you can start picking out what type of personality they are. They see personality on the DISC personality test. Are they really detailed? Or, no, Mark, park wherever you want. Well, now I know this guy maybe be a little bit more laid back, maybe a little bit more of an I personality, a little bit more of an S maybe. Again, I don't like to, pinpoint the personality right away, but it gives me information, right? It gives me information. It gets them talking a little bit, and it makes for a longer phone call. So number one, courtesy call. Anytime you're going to a homeowner, tell them exact time that you're going to be there. If it's the first time that you're actually getting to the home, ask a cool question like, is there any particular area you'd like me to park? Or, anything that you can come up with.
Is there an opposite? Cortisol is like that stress. I like
dopamine.
when you talk about that stuff. So dopamine is the opposite.
Yeah.
And that's like when somebody says something and then they follow through on it and it feels good. Does that kind of
feel good? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't that feel good? Especially with your significant other, right? Just you start getting these subconscious feelings, and that's what my goal is in all sales process. Like, how many of these little micro things can we do? Now you got to be consistent with it. What do I normally see in the industry? I see guys crush it for 2 weeks, right? Robbie here crushes it for a month or 2 months. Not you, Robbie. I hope not. And then after that, they start getting cocky, because really with us, Tim, a lot of time we sell deals because of our crown on our chest. And that's why I try to get to these guys, right? Our reputation's so on fire where sometimes they're signing deals and they don't got to really follow so much of the process. Well, what happens with that? That happens, oh man, I signed a deal, man, I'm good. I don't got to do this. I don't got to make the courtesy call. I don't got to do this. And then all of a sudden we're so watered down and we're doing everything like every other contractor here in Myrtle Beach. So
you said his name's Robbie?
Yeah, Robbie.
Can we talk to Robbie for a second? Robbie, what do ride-alongs look like? Like, how much? I'm just curious. I'm just a curious guy with Monarch. What do ride-alongs look like? How much do you guys like? How much do you do before you're kind of like patted on the butt and told to win?
So I actually started out as one of the superintendents, so helping out on like crew jobs and making sure that the install process was kind of up to our standards and GAF standards. And then after that, learned the whole process of as far as product knowledge, and then kind of graduated into.
Well, you went to the Reeva training. Then you went to the Reeva training program.
Yeah, went through that
Nice.
for a week, which was, oh my goodness, incredible. And then just kind of rode along. Heck, I've been riding along with sales manager Jake, and then went down to Hilton Head for a week. So I've been riding along with people for probably close to 2 months now, and just kind of training on the job.
That's awesome. You do know you're spoiled, right? Like, most roofing companies don't do this kind of extensive. Most roofing companies don't have training systems like Reeva in place. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I get told all the time about the silver spoon, and I know I have it. So.
Hey, as long as you're eating good, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with the silver spoon. I mean, but literally it's just being grateful, right? We're grateful for everything that we got. And you guys have a lot.
I was just gonna say gratitude, and this guy has gratitude, man, and he doesn't take anything for granted. And that's the guys we like to hire at Monarch Roofing, right? If they can't make a superintendent, they're not going to be able to be a salesman. So it's true when me and Martin are around the country preaching that we like to hire salesmen on, and we get them into the superintendent. What'd that do for Robbie? Robbie got to learn the whole roofing system. He learned exactly everything we need to do. So when he's going to sell, my gosh, it's a blessing. And that's what I always tell all our guys is that's how I started. I went from making 6 figures down to making $500 a week with Martin as a superintendent and put my time in. But yeah, we're actually on a roof install now. We just got finished with a roof. I'm kind of stopped by. I'm again training Robbie on the post install. But yeah, it's awesome, man.
I want to wrap up with this because we're not doing a long live. Come to Pitchfest next Friday, October 13th at Hook Agency. We've got Mark from Reeva there. We got Becca from Roof Sales Mastery. We've got Chuck from TopRep. It's going to be a pretty cool thing where you get to pitch people and get direct feedback. That's the difference of this event. It's different than any other event that I've seen yet. But I want to wrap up with this entitlement. Like, I know you see a lot of you probably see a lot of guys come through. Some of them aren't grateful. Some of them honestly, they attract bad owners. And like I've seen people hopping and they're mad. They're mad and they attract bad. They go to work for toxic people sometimes, partly because they have entitlement, I think. What is that with mindset? And how do you get to the different track of being grateful? It's not like stuck forever if you're kind of got that, is it?
It's my number one biggest pet peeve, man, is entitlement, and then ego. Ego and entitlement is a big thing that we have to battle, especially here at Monarch Roofing. And early on in a like a training salesman life, they are so grateful, man. Like Robbie, I don't think he's ever going to lose that, but they're so grateful, and they understand the opportunity that they have, and they understand that they're going to sell 40% only by this crown on their chest, because their reputation of Martin has built over 18 years, right? We have to get them to understand that, because what happens, and they start off on fire, right? They're crushing it, man. Our average $300,000-$400,000 in sales a month is our rep, right? That's what our average on our rep is. So those numbers start getting to people's heads when they start looking around the country, and they see that, the average salesman selling 100,000 a month, maybe, right? If you're selling $1 million a year, you're doing pretty well. Well, if you're selling $1 million a year for Monarch Roofing, you're not going to be working here very much longer. You're at $3.5 million. That's what we expect. But again, that comes from obviously awesome marketing. Our partners like you, man, who bring us these leads. It brings us the process. It brings us reputation on a home like this, but doing the above and beyond. And me coming out here, I didn't have to come out here today, right? This job is done, finished. They're out here, but Robbie got a lead here. He was door knocking while on this job site. So again, he's getting 2 or 3 leads a day, but then he's also out there door knocking. Can we keep that? Can we get that same Robbie 6 months from now, 1 year from now? Entitlement comes from thinking that you're better than you are. Right? It really comes down to that. Yeah. And it takes a powerful sales manager, a powerful sales director, a powerful owner like Martin to make sure that we keep people in check. And you don't have to be, an asshole to people in that, but we have to make sure that they understand that, it's probably not just you that is getting a 50, 60% closing rate. It's probably because of our marketing team. It's probably because of our partners out in Minnesota that are creating leads. It's probably because of Martin's reputation for 18 years. It's probably from the awesome branding that we have. And, I'll kind of show you our awesome, beautiful trucks, man, like brand new every single time, right? It's probably from the awesome trucks that we have. It's also probably from the sales process that we have designed ever since I got to Monarch 8 years ago. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. And entitlement, man, you hit it on the head. It's called self-awareness, Tim, right? Self-awareness, social awareness, and communication. Those are the 3 skills I really work on with all of our guys. And you got to be self-aware to understand that it's not all about you. Because I understand it. I'm a sales director at Monarch. It's not all about me, man. We got guys that grind day in and day out, but we just got to keep people in check. That's all.
I will say, if you bring 2 or 3 guys, 5 guys to this event, because I think you should, reach out to me. I'd love to give you a little deal. If you saw this live, say Reeva Impact, and we'll get you a different deal if you watch this live. So
and I'm also going to do something one up too, okay, Tim, for you guys, for this people in the live right here. We've had a lot of actually outreach to our social media about Pitchfest, because what I have done, I've included a 30-minute Zoom for free. If you buy a ticket to Pitchfest, post Pitchfest, you can get on our schedule, me, Martin, and we'll do a 30-minute Zoom about any topic that anyone wants: branding, marketing, sales presentation, anything you want to talk about for 30 minutes, and it'll be a open book. I'll do everything. I'll do anything that we have that I usually charge for, but I'll include it if they include Reeva Impact in this live.
That itself is worth, like if you use the code Reeva Impact, you get the tickets for $450. That itself is worth $450 at least, if not like thousands.
You can go on our website right now to speak with Martin for 30 minutes. It's $600. So there's a $600 right there, and I'm a measly $350, but I can help your company. I can help your company with 30 minutes, and even if it's giving you documents or talking about the inside sales position, I just want to give value, man. I want to give, because I never had that 8 years ago when I started. I wanted to learn from people, and we didn't have what we have. And big part to you, man. You do so much for our industry and getting people to talk and getting people to educate each other. So I'm all in for that for sure.
Thank you so much, man. And ReevaImpact.com. I mean, even if you guys just want to go there and get these consulting calls with these guys, that's incredible. Those are good deals. With a company like this with Monarch and the dominance that they've got, it's like these are the people you want to talk to level up. So I mean, it's crazy how valuable a few of those like consulting calls I've had with different people have been, and like they're a huge deal. They can change the trajectory of your business. I mean, so I strongly suggest, even if you
and
don't
I've had some great calls. Yeah, I've had some great calls, and I've had some bad calls with people that I thought, and now I kind of know that what people are looking for, right? So it's like, man, if that 30 minutes turns into an hour, but I can give you guys value, man, I'm all in, brother.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. See you guys next week at Pitchfest. Thank you, Mark. And thank you for everything you're doing out there. And you guys are leveling up roofing in general. And that's a big thing. I really appreciate y'all.
Cougar paws every single time, buddy, on top of a roof, no matter what. Later,
all right. All right. See ya. Bye.